is a map drawing video of Kenya. Okay, first things first. Push out a piece of PK Wrigley's peppermint flavoured chewing gum. This is my last packet made in Australia that has some of the old sugar. Gum that contains sugar. I think the best before date on this one is, I think it was September. Oh, it's there actually. I have to spin it around. Oh, there we go, September 25. So just a bit out of date. So obviously using these because yeah, it's all gone sugar free now for PK. So I've got a half piece to begin with, which is left over from a previous video, and I'll pop that in my mouth and start chewing. And now I've just pushed out a full piece of peppermint flavoured PK, and I'll pop that in my mouth and continue chewing. Okay, put the gum to one side. Now, before I start on the map drawing, I just want to give a shout out firstly to Eddie, or their name might be Roel, R-O-E-L, or H-E-D-Y, who in the last few days left a tip in my, as in donation, in my through my tip jar. There's a link at the bottom of this video, and there's also a link up in the main channel section of my channel. So thank you to Eddie or OL, and I also had a message from Felix who left me a tip last month asking for a shout out. So thank you to Felix. I'm sure that I did give him a shout out, but it might have been right at the end of the video, so he might have been asleep by that stage and missed it. So thank you to Felix, and thank you also to Jacob Thunder. It's not his real last name. Max, Daniel, Phil, and April, who I've also given shout outs to in the past, but just thought I'd give a shout out again just in case they missed the first one. Okay, so thank you for all my people that are supporting me with some small and some quite generous donations. Okay, so I'll get stuck into the map drawing video. I'm going to plug in my light board into my power bank. myself that I should do in another African country. I did think about South America too, but anyway. But anyway, I've done a few in South America so far, but only done a few in Africa. I suppose I've done South Africa. I've done Ivory Coast, Morocco, Algeria, done Egypt. I don't know whether it's Northern Africa, I suppose. Anyway, so that's about all I can see there, I think. Anyway, that's a good guide, I think, for the moment. So what I'll do now, and I always leave this little ruler here to give my cameras up here to focus on. Otherwise it can sort of, if it's a blank sheet, it just goes, the camera goes up and down looking for what to focus on. So anyway, what I'll do now, I'll put my pencil down and I'll take the light board away and come back and keep going on with the map drawing video of Kenya. So I'll do that in 1, 2, I take 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so I'm back now, and continuing on with my map of map of Kenya. I should write Kenya there. No, actually, I write Kenya. Oh, I dig. Better spell it right. Spell it correctly. And I can list all these attributes as I go down there. Right above the Kenny. Okay, so this is actually a straight line there. Like that. And then a straight line across. And down like so, and then there's Somalia. I don't think I've quite got that coast correctly, but I will do. I'll go and have a double check. Sudan, Ethiopia. Oh, this is Kenya here in the middle. Somalia's here. Somalia. There's Tanzania or Tanzania, depending how you pronounce it. the Somalian border. Goes over there like so, but what I might do, I'll rub those back a little bit. I might use the brush. It gives me room to write things like population of 58 million, and then Lake Victoria sort of comes around like that somehow. I think there's the border between Tanzania and Uganda. Goes roughly like that. Okay. Got another little spot to colour blue as well. I thought I'd do Kenya in a lovely green. I thought green would be a good colour because I have this image of Kenya being I'm sure they have droughts and things and problems and maybe even desert areas, but I just have this feeling. Land that does a lot of agriculture, or some agriculture anyway. I was going to go with green. Kenya has a interesting history. They found stone tools that date back 3 million years. For Kenya, so they sort of build them in human evolution. These spots in this around Kenya in Africa was where humans started, evolved, and then spread across all the countries on Earth. And then about in 500 BCE, which I think that stands for before the Christian era. Was that they were introduced from the Bantu speaking peoples to I said introduced, but I actually was supposed to write iron tools and agriculture. Or that then. It must have been. Well, hunters and gatherers. There's actually this band, I don't think it's still around anymore, called Hunters and Collectors. It's one of my favourite bands when I was growing up. Hunters and Collectors, Mark Seymour. It always reminds me of Hunters and Gatherers, Hunters and Collectors. We had Mark Seymour, the lead singer. I always felt he oozed coolness. there in the corner of Uganda, Kenya, and Kenya. And then around 1498, I think, well, in 1498, the Portuguese, before that, sort of the 1st century AD onwards, a helicopter just went over then, and so I'll just say this bit again. The 1st century AD, there were the traders from the Middle East, and then 1498, the Portuguese traders, traders arrived. This is the Indian Ocean here, so it probably was quite probably wasn't that far to come from Middle East to Portugal, I suppose. this is the Indian Ocean out here. Oh, no, ridiculous. Well, it's still the Indian Ocean. Let's go and ride it in a bit closer. Indian Ocean. And I was researching from Kenya, typed in population, and it came back with 6 million or 8 million, and I thought to myself, I thought it was much more than that, but that was maybe 1963, but now anyway, 58 million, isn't it? That is the current approximate population. What I should have actually done, I think about it, I should have found a country that had 80 million as a population, as a link, as a segue to say that now I've got on this channel 80,000 subscribers. So thank you to everybody that's subscribed over the last 11 years. Thanks for all the support. Yep. It's much appreciated. Okay, it's Sharpie time. See if I can open this without. Oh, there we go. Making too much noise. Kenya. I'm pretty sure that Kenya was its original name. Well, yeah. It wasn't like Rhodesia that became Zimbabwe, those sort of things. I think it's Kenya is what it's been known for as, but at least the last, I guess the other pencil, the last 100 years. I could be wrong. Okay, so capital. It is Nairobi. Down here on the coast is Mombasa. This actually, I'm going to put too many S's on it. I was thinking about the spelling for Reg Mombasa, who was in a band called Mental Insanity. He's an Australian. His real name is, I think it might be Rory O'Doherty. When they were in the band Mental Insanity, I think they just came up with so to have fun with their names, changing them. So he's Reg Mombasa. I didn't actually know where that ever came from, but obviously it may have come from Kenya. Oh yeah, so he's oh, I should have done that in small, what was I going to say about Orange Mambo? He did these really sort of pop art drawings. Was it pop art? Maybe. Of anyway, it looks like it was 100% Mambo dogs and people surfing perhaps, and they went on to t-shirts. T-shirts, things that are really sort of popular, a little bit out there. Swansea. There's one. I watched her interview. There was one with was one about snakes with that fellow from who was the storeman in the office, US office, and he was in another one called Love with the woman his son was in his 20s. Used to talk to him and stuff. We had the same seats each for, which his son match was on. Anyway, I said to him, it was coming up, the football season runs over summer. So I said to him before Christmas, what got plans? And he said, I'm going down to Kosciuszko, the Snow Mountains, to do a bit of running.